Hello, my name is Colin, and in this video we're going to tackle the problem of differentiating between the color of your sky in Blender versus the color of light that's projected off of the sky, lighting your 3D scene. Right now in Blender, I have a very simple scene of an orange monkey head, a sunlight, and a camera, which is positioned. If I jump into the camera's view with the number pad 0 on my keyboard, that's what my scene looks like. If I go up to the render menu and click render image, well, of course, this is what I see. I want to have a blue sky in my scene. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and close my render window, go over to the properties editor to the world tab, and I can simply change my sky, my environment color to blue. So I'll go ahead and turn the brightness up of this default gray color and then select a nice blue. Except when I do that, you might have noticed that the light that's projected onto the scene and all the objects in the scene is now blue. So everything gets a blue cast on it. If I go ahead to my render tab and turn off ray tracing, which I had on in this file, you'll see that effect even more. But when I tell you that there is blue light bouncing around on the scene and it's not ideal, especially in the shadow areas, how do we get rid of that? Well, it turns out that there is a node in Blender called the light path node that will solve this problem for us quite easily. If I go up to the shading workspace right here in Blender, and I select an object in my scene, in this case, my monkey head object has a simple material on it, you can see the nodes for that material on that object just like this. It's pretty easy to understand. You have a principled BSDF. This is a normal type of shader. A shader is how an object looks, is colored, is shaded, how the shadows are shaping the object, or does the object look more cartoony and flat? That's what a shader does. And of course, with all objects, when you have a shader node on the object, you have to finish the setup of all these nodes with a material output node. Now, this node or shader editor has a few different modes. And the mode that we're in right now is called object mode because we're working on nodes for materials that are on objects. But you can actually change the shader or material of your environment. By the way, right now I'm in the material preview viewport shading mode because I switched into a different workspace. So I'll switch back over to my rendered mode right there. So you can see the blue sky and the blue light. I'm going to change the mode of this shader editor from object to world. And now I can see the node setup of my environment, my sky, which is also represented right here. What I'm going to do here is have the same background shader, which is not quite the same as a shader that would go onto an actual object, like that principled BSDF shader. This background shader is going to stay the same with a blue sky color, just a flat color, not a gradient, just for the sake of the simplicity of this video. And I'm also going to have a duplicate shader for the sky of the sky's light color. So how I want the light to be projected from that sky. So what I'm going to do is select this node and press Shift D on my keyboard. Shift D is of course duplicate. And when I move my mouse down, I'm creating a copy and it grabs it for me and I can click. What I have to do now is mix these two shaders together using a node called, well, the mix shader node. So I'm going to go up to the add menu, not this one up here, but on this shader editor. And under add, I'm going to go to shader and mix shader. The mix shader's sole job is to take two shaders. I'll just put it right there. I'll click to place it. It takes two shaders in, and based on a factor, how you want to blend the two materials together, and then you have an output, and you can connect this output to the world output in this case, not the object output. So I'm going to go ahead and before I connect these two to my mix shader, I'm going to change the bottom one's color. I'll click on its color picker to a light gray color, and I'll turn the saturation down to bring the circle selector back to the middle so it's not got any color. So it's just about white. And now I'll plug these two ports with noodles into the mix shader's input ports right there, leaving the factor empty. So right now what's happened is I'm mixing together two background world colors to form one, and they're blending 50-50. So you can see that my sky is sort of a light blue, almost white, but halfway between these two. And of course I can change the factor to whatever I want. Instead though, what I'm going to do is plug a special node into this factor that's actually going to make it so that the blue material is what the camera sees, and what the world sees is the white material. And therefore, the white material will project white light onto the scene, and we'll see the blue. How do you do this? Well, if you go to the Add menu, again in this bottom shader editor, under the Add menu, you're going to bring up Input, and under Input, you will select Light Path. This Light Path node is quite a complicated node, and we are just scratching the surface of what you can do with it. This node is meant so that you, as a 3D digital artist, can really precisely control and target different categories of light rays in your scene and adjust them all independently from one another, recoloring different elements of your scene like shadows, like the reflective parts of objects. You name it, you can pretty much do it with this light path node. The only port out of all these ports that we're going to use is called the Is Camera Ray port. And what this targets is the rays that are seen by the camera, the rays of light that are seen by the camera, but that don't touch any other object in the scene, and they just go off into space. In other words, the part of your scene with light rays where no objects interfere with light rays coming from the sky to the camera. Now, I'm lying a little bit. The way that most 3D render engines work is that rays of light, unlike in the real world, where rays of light come from a light source and they emit in all directions and they bounce off of objects and they eventually land into the camera, well, in a render engine, most commonly, light rays are actually projected in the opposite direction from the camera's perspective. They bounce around and happen to maybe end up at a light source. And that turns out is a much easier or more efficient way of figuring out what light rays are actually useful in a giant 3D expansive environment in a computer. Rendering is quite intensive for a computer, so they've simplified it down. So when this option says Is Camera Ray, it means a ray of light that's being emitted from the camera but not touching anything else and just goes off forever. If I plug that port into the factor of my mix shader, you will see what we want. Maybe. Let's go ahead and let go. And actually, we're getting the exact opposite of what we want, and I'm glad that happened. What's happening here is you can see that our sky is white, and that's not what we want. And you can see perhaps that the floor and the shadow, especially under the monkey head, is blue. We are getting the exact opposite of what we want. We are having blue light emitted onto our scene, but we are seeing the white sky. So all I have to do here is switch these two little ports around. The two noodles are connected to the wrong one. And I'll go ahead and flip these two background shaders around as well. And you can see we have the result that we want. We have a monkey head and a floor being lit by a white sky, but we don't see the white sky. We see the nice blue sky that we want. Of course, if you want a different color of light emitting from your world, all you have to do is change this value right here, the color value, to a different color of your choice. You can turn up or turn down the strength. So if I type 5, I'll get more light on my scene, or less 0.8, let's say. But that is the crux of it. That is how you change and differentiate between the color of the sky that you see and the color of the light on your scene. The last step here is to go up to Render and Render Image, where again, you will see the final result, blue sky, but not a blue scene. That'll be it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. At the end of this video, I'll go ahead and leave up this node setup with, of course, the world mode selected and not the object mode selected in this shader editor. We are in the shading workspace. That's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.